6-run baseball. Took the loss in that one.
Spikerman to lead off for Oklahoma, as he's done throughout the weekend. Madron, after that, 54 runs scored, leads the Big 12. Carmichael, Snyder, McKenzie, Nicholas, Willits, Mudler, and Walk for Skip Johnson today in Game 3 of this series. And we are underway as Hewer gets this one started. The freshman out of Greensboro, Georgia. Hewer in the low to mid-90s much of the time. Spikerman 3 hits in this series against the Red Raiders. Spikerman, Snyder, and Nicholas among their home run leaders and hit leaders. Hewer working the count to 3-0 and coming back there at 3-1. Swing and a miss by Spikerman there.
Yeah,
had a 5-game hit streak working. It ended yesterday.
All fastballs here so far for Hewer. 92, 93 on the stadium radar gun.
Swing and a miss. Got him at 93.
Right back to the fastball. A little bit of indecision there from Spikerman.
Good job by Hewer after starting that count at 3-0 and fighting his way back. Here's Bryce Madron. Madron started this series on Friday by going 0 for 4, but had 3 hits on Saturday. Red Raiders defensively, Woodcox, Harrelson, and Green in the outfield. McGee, Lopez, TJ Pompey is at second, Gavin Cash at first, and Kevin Bazell behind the plate. Gus, for the second consecutive day here against the Sooners, no Damian Bravo in that Red Raider lineup.
Yeah, apparently whatever he aggravated when he dove for that ball late on Friday night is significant enough. He was out here doing some pregame running and whatnot. He's in uniform. Obviously not in the lineup again.
Red Raider bats have managed only 11 hits in the first 2 games of this series, and Damian Bravo is the Big 12's leading hitter and not in the lineup. Madron hit his Sooner leading 10th home run yesterday, leading off the 5th inning. That started a 4-run inning for the Sooners, and they would lead 6-0 in the ball game. That ball right through the wickets at Pompey there at second base. Settled down on that one and just did not make the play.
Yeah, he's in good position, moves his feet, just pulls the glove up right before it gets to him. TJ's defensive struggles continue.
Red Raiders had that 5th inning on Friday night in which they allowed 4 runs, committed 3 errors in that Sooner at bat, and lost that game 8-0. Now Carmichael in the first pitch from Hewer gets away from Bazell, and Madron moves to second base.
Madron at second base. That is gift wrapped. Ground ball through the second baseman's legs, followed by a wild pitch to the screen.
Red Raiders, who are desperate for a win in this series after losing the first 2, can't do much of that today, Gus, or it'll wind up a Sooner sweep here in Lubbock.
Yes, indeed. Tim Tadlock's never had one of those, not since he's been the head coach. They ever been swept at home.
Carmichael's batting average coming in today at .355 is among the top 10 best in the Big 12.
Yeah, Easton Carmichael. Fantastic player this year, 3 for 10 here this weekend with an RBI.
Swing and a miss there. Off speed from Ewer fooled him. Carmichael drove in the first run of yesterday's game with the first inning single, and he could do it here with a teammate at second base. Sophomore out of Prosper. On the old Big 12 freshman team a year ago when he hit .306 with 6 home runs and 48 driven in. An error a moment ago by T.J. Pompey, the Red Raiders' 57th of the year. Pompey's 12th. Ground ball, that's McGee over at third. He'll look the runner back, and now Madron takes off. Cash will not throw back from first base. Carmichael is retired there. But with 2 outs, the Sooners do have a runner at third for Michael Snyder.
Yeah, big chopping ground ball that McGee placed to his backhand. The long throw over to first was good. Madron had plenty of time to time that release and scamper down to third base. He's 90 feet away here with 2 outs.
Madron does lead the Big 12 in runs scored, and he's at third base here in the first inning of the game. Ewer starts Snyder with the breaking ball for a strike.
No wind in the ballpark today. Gray and overcast, temperature in the 60s. But if you misplay one in the air today, you won't have the wind to blame.
And no threat of rain. Snyder, the grad transfer from Washington, is the only Sooner to have started every game this season.
He has been good for this Sooner ball club. And Big 12 play comes into today hitting .378. 6 homers, 27 RBIs. He leads them in all those categories. Again, that in Big 12 play through 23 games for the Sooners. He throw on top of that 9 for 10 in the stolen base department. His lone caught stealing was here yesterday.
Oh, he hits that one a mile off of Ewer. Drew Woodcox turns and looks, and he's not going to bring that one back. The error has cost the Red Raiders here in the first inning as Michael Snyder, batting there off Ewer, just blast his 9th home run of the year, and Oklahoma has a 2-0 lead here in the top.
It's a no-doubter. You can see Snyder knew it was gone when he hit it. We all knew it was gone when it was hit. That blast landing out on the streets. Error at second base, a big one.
Sooners have jumped out in front in every game of this series. They got 2 on Friday night in the first inning. And they've done it again here. Or rather, they got 2 in the second. They got 2 in the first inning yesterday. But they lead 2-0. Anthony McKenzie here with no one on and a couple of runs in. Gus, this has been a little bit of the pattern for Red Raider starters. Find themselves in trouble early, settle down, but the Red Raider bats have not been able to come to the rescue.
Yeah, playing from behind. Coach Tadlock's out here, and he's bringing the trainer with him. Something's not right.
There's absolutely no activity in that Red Raider bullpen in right field, as you probably wouldn't think there would be.
You can see Mac grabbing at his kind of the oblique rib cage area on the left side of his body. And it's not ideal.
Sooners hit a couple of home runs yesterday. Madron knocked one out. McKenzie, who is at the plate now, also homered. On Friday night in the series opener, an 8-0 Sooner win. It was a couple of doubles and a triple in the extra base department. But I think the Red Raiders are going to make a change right here.
Yeah, and this pitcher will obviously have plenty of time to get loose because nobody is getting loose in the pen, but this injury related, somebody's going to jump up and start stretching and probably carry out their warm-up tosses on the mound.
Tim Tadlock has turned and headed back to the Red Raider dugout, and he'll be followed by Mac Ewer. His start today does not last long. 26 pitches, 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning, but obviously some discomfort, and he has left the mound. Red Raiders will make a pitching change. 2-0 Sooners here, top half of the first.
What's wrong?
My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying?
No,
Are you crying because of that other card?
no.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made some bad money moves.
Now we're totally screwed.
Didn't fund your IRA.
Thought an F.
Red Raiders making a pitching change after the injury to Mac Ewer here in the top half of the first inning. Meantime, Oklahoma, with the 2 wins here against Texas Tech so far, has gone to 17-6 in Big 12 play. Gus leading the league and holding off the charge of Texas and West Virginia so far.
Yeah, and there's a look at the Red Raiders, 12-14. In serious jeopardy of not getting into either of the postseason tournaments. Because remember, Tech and TCU, actually Tech will finish their Big 12 slate next weekend in Stillwater. TCU has an open week next week, and in 2 weeks they'll finish up with everyone else. Yeah, the Red Raiders trying to hold off Baylor, to a lesser extent, perhaps Houston and BYU. BYU got lost 2 of 3 this weekend in non-conference play in Coral Gables at the University of Miami.
Part of the problem, I'd guess, for the Red Raiders who want to be among the top 8 teams to make the Big 12 tournament is the fact that you have lost series to TCU and to Baylor.
Yeah, tiebreaker. Not favorable.
Red Raiders clearly need a win today, and they need perhaps more than one win at Oklahoma State next weekend. But let's talk about Parker Hutera here, called out of the bullpen. Red Raiders had nothing going on out there, and he gets an opportunity to warm up, but this is under adverse circumstances for sure.
Boy, it sure is. Hutera, a week ago, went 3 scoreless innings on Sunday in Lawrence. That was in a loss. But generally speaking, Hutera, kind of a 2-inning guy plus. It looks like season high in pitches, 45. He threw 42 last Sunday, but that's kind of how he's been used this year. So you're not talking about somebody that could come in and really extend. I'm not saying he's not capable of it. I'm saying it's not something he's done a bunch this year. But boy, he has been very good. You saw the season totals there. A 165 ERA. 27 plus innings.
Butera will face Anthony McKenzie, third baseman for the Sooners. Pitch to McKenzie, lifted fairly deep into right field, but Austin Green is there. And Butera gets the Red Raiders out of the inning with one pitch. But the loss of McCure and the home run. Well, the Red Raiders starter only lasts a bit of the first inning. Carson Atwood is on the mound today for the Sooners. Gus, a little bit of a surprise there because he was not the guy we initially expected.
Yeah, and we had officially been told TBA, but some of the conversation around the ballpark the last couple of days was that it might be Brendan Girton. And Girton may very well pitch in relief today, but it's Carson Atwood who gets the start. It's his first Big 12 start of the year, just his third start on the season. Most of his outings have been in the 2 to 3 inning range. Good season numbers there. You see them on your screen at Big 12 plate. Carson Atwood, 9 relief appearances, no record of 2.70 ERA in 10 innings of work.
Here's the Red Raider batting lineup that he'll face today. Tracer Lopez, who had that 9th inning home run yesterday. After that, Gavin Cash, who has hit the ball well in the Red Raiders' last 5 games. Then Bazell, Green, Woodcocks, Stripling, McGee, Harrelson, and TJ Pompey. Lopez, we talked about this during Saturday's game, was the leadoff batter in the first 8 games of the season. Then moved further down in the batting order, but has found himself back up here on top yesterday and today against the Sooners. He's got 2 hits in the series, one of them that home run yesterday in the 9th inning. Atwood, the senior out of Ardmore, Oklahoma, the longest outing that Gus was talking about a moment ago, and Lopez delivers a shot right past Snyder at first base, headed for second, may even think about going to third. Throw is on the way to third base, and not in time to get Tracer Lopez, who does what Red Raider fans were hoping to see here early, a triple to start this ball game.
Yeah, these first 2 ball games, John, have been pretty lifeless, simply because of the domination of Witherspoon and Day. It rattles around in the corner, played well by Madron, but no shot at keeping Tracer Lopez from getting to third base here with nobody out.
That's the first time in this series the Red Raiders have had their leadoff batter of the ball game reach base, and now Gavin Cash. Immediately the Sooners put that shift on for the Red Raiders first baseman. 3 infielders between first and second. Cash does have 4 hits in this series against Sooner pitching, and that leads this Red Raider team. Lopez now with 3, but that's been a bit of the problem. Red Raiders, Cade McGee, TJ Pompey, Drew Woodcocks, even Damian Bravo in the course of this series do not have a hit. That ball is hit hard towards first base. Snyder going to make the play himself, but Gavin Cash gets Tracer Lopez home, and the Red Raiders have cut that Oklahoma lead in half.
Yeah, the Sooners had the infield back. You had mentioned the big shift. Snyder playing very deep over there at first base, handles the sharply hit ground ball with ease. It's an RBI ground ball for Cash.
There are the Sooners defensively today. Walk, Spikerman, and Madron in the outfield. McKenzie, Willits, Nicholas, Snyder, and Mudler in the infield. Now Kevin Bazell with 1 out and nobody on. A 2-1 ball game after the ground ball out off the bat of Gavin Cash, who drives in his 45th run of the year. And that will equal TJ Pompey for the most RBIs on this Red Raider team. That is among the top 5 RBI totals in the Big 12. Bazell, after an 0-for-3 start to this series, went 2-for-4 on Saturday with a double and a home run. Guy that led the Big 12 in doubles a year ago. And he takes a strike, now 3-1. Atwood misses there, ball 4.
And for Atwood, a lot of cutters so far. See that cutter in about 88, 89 on the stadium radar gun. The fastball, just the four-seamer. In around 92 so far.
Atwood, mentioning a moment ago, his longest outing of the season, 3 1/3 against Lamar back in March. Allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, struck out 4 batters. Sooners lost that game to Lamar 12-10. He has thrown against the Red Raiders in his career 6 times. Today is the 80th career appearance for the senior pitcher. Austin Green just 1 hit in this series. A single yesterday. Senior out of Diana. Transferred to this program a couple of years ago from Weatherford College. Runner goes. The pitch is just hammered by Austin, but way out in front. Hit that one a mile into foul territory. It may still be going.
Green jumping on one of those cutters. In. Hooking it way foul out of here, over onto the track beyond right field.
Hit a grand slam earlier this season against West Virginia. That came in the 6th inning of game 1 of that series. Red Raiders swept the Mountaineers. Brazell not running there. Green pops that one up into the area just behind second base. Willits there to make the play for out number 2. And now Drew Woodcocks with 2 outs and Kevin Brazell over at first base. Woodcocks, one of 3 prominent Red Raiders who have yet to hit safely against Sooner pitching. 0 for 5 coming into this game. Ground ball hit it right at Willits. Short way to Nicholas at second to force Brazell, and the inning is over. But the leadoff triple by Tracer Lopez, the 6th of his career. Lubbock, top of the 2nd coming up. There's the umpiring crew today. Jeffrey Heinrichs behind home plate. Jerry Johnson at first. Seth Buckminster at second base. And Jason Harstick over at third today. Parker Hutera on in relief of Mac Ewer, who went out with some sort of discomfort in the top half of the 1st inning. Hutera came on through 1 pitch and got McKenzie to fly out to end the inning, but he'll face Nicholas, Willits, and Mudler here in the Sooner 2nd. Ewer leaving after giving up the 2-run home run to Michael Snyder. Sooners, with that home run, have 24 hits off Red Raider pitching in 2+ games. They had 12 on Friday night, 11 yesterday. Red Raiders, through the first 2 games, had managed 5 runs on 11 hits. One and 2 to Nicholas, who's 4 for 10 in the series. His 4 hits are a couple of singles, a double, and a triple. Ground ball. Diving Gavin Cash behind first base. He'll do it himself and outruns Nicholas to the bag. Yes, that's the 2nd ball in this game that we've seen ripped down the right field line. Lopez hit it past Snyder, but there Nicholas couldn't get it past Cash.
Yeah, another sharply hit ball. Cash with a really nice play. Hutera was on the play it himself, and he did beat Nicholas to the bag. Heck of a play to start this second inning.
Utera has retired both of the Sooner batters he has faced, and now Jackson Willits, the Sooner shortstop. Couple of hits in 8 plate appearances against the Red Raiders, and he has shown he can bunt, Gus.
Yes, he has bunted for a base hit here yesterday, rolled one out toward the mound and legged it out. McGee is in even with the bag over there at third.
Bunted back on Friday night, too, and reached on a Red Raider error. Called strike there, now 2-2. Got him. Off speed from Utera, and Willits strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Utera in the ballgame, Gus, and off-speed pitch does the trick.
Yellow backdoor breaker. Willits swings through it, actually swings over it. 2 quick outs here in the second.
Now Scott Mudler. Mudler, the hero for Oklahoma in that 8-0 shutout on Friday night when he had a couple of doubles and drove in a pair of runs. Went 0 for 4 on Saturday with the strikeout. Quickly finds himself behind Utera at 0-2. Ground ball towards Pompey again. Running, got that glove down, makes the play over to Cash in time, and Parker Utera has retired all 4 Sooner batters he has faced. Red Raiders to bat here in the bottom of the second, trailing Oklahoma 2-1. Gus, over the course of this season, and today is the Red Raiders' 50th game of the year. Top team batting average in the Big 12. They have scored more runs, have more hits, more RBIs than anybody else in the league. But for Tim Tadlock, he wants that to translate now into conference games as well.
Yeah, you got that right. Trying to get some guys to heat up, get this offense going as they head down the stretch. There's 4 games left, 3 after today. 3 in Big 12 play, that is.
Yeah, the Red Raiders 309 as a team batting this season, best in the league. Oklahoma's right behind them, but it's the Sooners who have the best batting average in Big 12 play. These are the top 2 hitting teams in terms of base hits in the Big 12.
Red Raiders just 3-9 on the road in Big 12 play. That's where they'll be in Stillwater next weekend. Needing some results.
Landon Stripling, a Red Raider DH, leading off here in the second inning. Cade McGee, Gage Harrelson to follow. Stripling went 0 for 2 on Saturday. We did walk and reach base a couple of times. Had a pinch hit single on Friday night in the 9th inning of that game.
A lot of cutters here from Atwood.
Boy, that was close. Ball 3. Popped up into left field, but it's a long run, but outstanding play by McKenzie. Anthony McKenzie, the Sooner third baseman, runs that one down in foul territory for out number 1 here.
Yeah, McKenzie hustling back, making that one look easy. It's a tough play for a third baseman going over his shoulder that deep into foul territory. He is a good athlete. Has flashed the leather here this weekend.
Jason Walk, who is out in left field today, had a long run for that ball and was not going to be able to get there, but McKenzie does in foul territory. And now McGee. First pitch swinging, hits that one a mile high into center field, but Spikerman is there. And Atwood trying to make this a very quick inning for Red Raider hitters. Every Red Raider batter has put the ball in play, but only one hit to show for it. That was the triple by Lopez. Bazell actually walked to reach base, but Gavin Cash grounded out. Green popped up. Woodcox grounded into a fielder's choice. All of that in the first. Stripling fouled out to McKenzie. McGee hit that ball into center field, and now Gage Harrelson. Harrelson singled yesterday and hit that one at McKenzie again. Great play by the third baseman, but having to get up, turn, and throw, the speedy Harrelson beats that play out.
Just one extra little shuffle as McKenzie was trying to get squared up. When he got back to his feet, you could see the dive. It spins him all the way around, and it's that extra little hitch that makes the difference. We know
Pompey is 0 for 6 in the series. He has struck out a couple of times, and it has been quite some time since the Red Raider freshman has hit safely in a ball game. Pompey last hit safely against New Mexico back on April 23rd. He has won for his last 33 in the Red Raiders' last 10 games. Not much of a lead for Harrelson over at first. Red Raiders in the series are 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts against the Sooners. Have 47 stolen bases for the year. Harrelson has been the Red Raiders' best. He's 12 for 12. Pompey hits that one right at Willits, who times it perfectly, goes up and makes the play. Gus, that left side of the infield for the Sooners are very, and hits it past a diving T.J. Pompey over at second base. That'll be the first base hit allowed by Parker Gutierrez since coming on after the injury to Mac Ewer. Pompey had a chance, but just could not quite get there.
just out of his reach on that diving effort. Jackson walks and gets things started here in the third inning with a base hit.
Walk not an everyday player for these guys, but making his 20th start of the year, and took one pitch to extend a hitting streak to 3 games. And now back to the top of the order in John Spikerman. Ewer struck him out to start this ball game.
I think Walk was a key part of filling in for Spikerman when he was injured.
He's one of 6 Sooner base runners to have stolen at least 9 bases this year. They're 5 for 8 against the Red Raiders in this series, and now have 80 stolen bases this year. They are not shy at all about taking a big lead over at first base. Spikerman got that pitch from Utera, sends it very deep. Austin Green is at the wall, and he's run out of room. Looked like he might have a chance to make a play on it, but got right to the wall, looks up and realizes he's not going to get it. And John Spikerman has hit his 2nd home run of the year And he'll drive in Jason Walk in front of him. Sooners have extended their lead now on a couple of two-run homers in this game to 4-1 over the Red Raiders.
Yeah, big towering fly ball. Green gave it a look. Felt like he might have a chance to get that one. We got no wind. Ackerman getting enough of it to get it out of here. Just beyond the wall in right field. Big high fly ball, and the Sooners take a 3-run lead.
After the Red Raiders had allowed a couple of runs in that first inning, the Lopez triple, a cash ground ball. It was 2-1. Neither team scoring in the second, but here in the third, the Sooners get the blast from Spikerman. Red Raiders are going to have to continue to try and rally and come back in this ball game. Madron reached on an error in that first inning and scored on the Snyder home run. That ball is ripped into center field. Harrelson reacting and getting over to his right to make the play. Madron hit it hard, but close enough to Gage Harrelson to run that one down for out number one here in the third. Here's DH Easton Carmichael. He grounded out to Cade McGee back in the first inning. Going after that first pitch for Butera and sends it foul on the right side. Carmichael today in his 97th career game, only a sophomore for the Sooners out of Prosper. In Big 12 play, his 39 base hits are most on this Sooner team. And he hits that one pretty well, too. Austin Green drifting back again, may have room at the wall, and he does. On the warning track right in front of the Red Raider bullpen. And he's able to make the play. Gus, for a moment, it looked like that ball, much like Spikerman's, might get out of here, but room for Green at the wall.
Yeah, you saw Green kind of drifting over there, sighting in on that ball like he did on Spikerman's with Spades at the track.
Boy, it doesn't take long for Snyder here. Rips that ball into left field. Drew Woodcock's trying to make a diving catch of the ball, and it's off his glove. And at second base now is Snyder. Hard hit ball right at the Red Raider left fielder, but he had to start in on that ball and tries to make the diving play, and he cannot. And Snyder is down at second base.
That ball scored a double. As Woodcock's trying to make the sliding play, and boy, on the Sooners.
Inning started with a single by Jason Walk, a two-run homer by Spikerman. Madron hit it hard into center field. Carmichael to the wall in right field, and then Snyder a rocket shot into left for a double. McKenzie here is the first batter that Butera faced after coming in after the injury to Hewer in the first inning. Butera trying to land the off-speed pitch, but it stays up. 3-1 now to McKenzie. Oh, that's way inside, ball four. Two outs now for Jackson Nicholas. Guess something we really haven't seen in this series. The sun has come out.
Yeah, it's Been a while. We played the entire ball game here yesterday in gray, overcast conditions. Of course, Friday's ball game was a night game, so we didn't have much sunshine to deal with there. But yeah, just now the sun coming out. Beautiful afternoon here. Final home game of the year for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, that's the thing. They will not be back here at home this season. That'll be out of play. Nicholas, who grounded out unassisted to Gavin Cash over at first to start the second inning. Now 16 for 39 in his career against Red Raider pitching, including 4 home runs and 16 driven in. And he's got a chance here with a runner at second. Snyder there after his double. McKenzie over at first, walked a moment ago. Cash not holding him on, and he is halfway to second base, guys. Big lead.
Cash playing very deep over there at first. Bazell sees what we're seeing, but it's Cash that's playing Nicholas heavy to the pull side, very deep over there at first. They'll have to be together on that. It's going to be hard for Cash to just sneak in there. Todd Butler, their first base coach, is sighted in on Cash.
Coaches never stay in the boxes anymore.
Oh, I think those are cosmetic.
2-1 pitch stays up and away, and Hutera is 1 pitch away from loading the bases.
And part of the reason you're seeing that big lead from McKenzie, you got a right-handed hitter up there. So it's a tougher throw for Bazell if he does try to back pick.
There's ball 4, and the Sooners have them loaded up here with 2 outs.
The Sooners with an opportunity to blow this game wide open right here. Coach Gardner out to talk to his young right-hander. Again, Hutera subbed in with 2 outs in the first inning after Mac Ewer grabbed a rib area, lower back on his left side. Long meeting on the mound, and Coach Tadlock made the decision to end his afternoon. Hopefully he's okay. Not good when you see a pitcher grabbing at the place he was grabbing at. Now Coach Gardner, the long visit as Josh Sanders begins to work. Obviously Sanders and Hutera haven't thrown here this weekend, and they are the 2 higher leverage relievers available today. Should have a lot of pitches in both of those guys, but the plan probably didn't involve bringing Hutera in the first inning.
No, I would completely agree with that. They probably were hoping for 4 to 5 innings out of Ewer, and then using Sanders and Hutera to try and wrap up the ball game and get a Red Raider win. But here in the 3rd inning with 2 outs, the Sooners have loaded him up for Jackson Willits. Willits is the only strikeout victim to Hutera in the ball game today. The Sooners don't strike out all that often. On average, about 8 per game in Big 12 play, and that is the second fewest of any team in the league.
Hutera struck out Willits an inning ago, finished him with a breaking ball.
Immediately jumps out in front at 0-2. Willits is the 8th batter of the inning for the Sooners, who have 2 runs in, but they've got the bases loaded. Just missing at 93 there. Willits has 2 hits in the series, 1 hit on Friday, another on Saturday. And he hits that one pretty well. But Austin Green has it measured in right field, reaches up, makes the play, and the inning is over. But the two-run homer by Spikerman adds to the Sooners' advantage. First triple down the right field line and would score on the Gavin Cash ground ball. Snyder over there at first for the Sooners, very close to the line. Don't want to see that happen again. Atwood on the mound did pitch against the Red Raiders last season in Norman in the opener of that series. Red Raiders won it 13-7. In 10 innings, he pitched in that 10th inning. Couple of outs, allowed a hit and a run. He faced 3 batters. One of 6 times that he has thrown against the Red Raiders in his long career. And here he walks Tracer Lopez on 4 pitches. Red Raiders need base runners. The leadoff batter on here in Lopez.
Heavy pull side shift here for Cash. Willits on the first base side of second. Nicholas sort of right in the middle, playing very deep at second base, but not out in shallow right field as they're in a double play situation here.
Cash has 4 hits in this series. That's most of any Red Raider batter against Sooner pitching.
McKenzie just a step behind the baseline there at third, but well over toward shortstop. Deep and playing Cash to pull in the outfield, and I think the message here is Atwood is going to be cutter heavy. Trying to get everything in on the hands of Gavin Cash. He did so in his previous at bat, inducing a little RBI ground ball over there to first base. Here's a left-hander just beginning to play catch in the Sooner bullpen.
1-2 now to the Red Raider first baseman. Lopez not running. Cash on the handle. Pops that one up down the right field line. It's a very long run, and Nicholas can't quite get there.
That ball right at the base of the wall. Nicholas full tilt. Had to back off a step.
One and 2 to the Red Raiders first baseman. Junior out of Sour Lake. He'll strike out occasionally, 51 times this season.
Now with 2 strikes, McKenzie, their third baseman, in a traditional shortstop alignment. The entire left side of the infield is vacated except for him.
Ball's looped out into shallow left field. It's a long run for Walk, and he'll make the play. Tracer Lopez has to hurry back to first base. Looked like that one might drop in, but just a little bit too much air underneath that one, and Walk able to run it down.
This is obviously a good group of Sooner athletes. Just defensively, they've gotten to a lot of balls, made a lot of plays this weekend. It's the reason why they're in first place. They can go get it in the outfield. Not a lot of soft contact dropping in here this weekend.
Now Kevin Bazell with Lopez over at first and 1 out. Atwood delivers it 91 on the corner to the Red Raider catcher. Kevin had 8 hits in the series against the Sooners a year ago, was hitless on Friday night, but had a double and a home run yesterday. And he sends that one a mile high in the infield. McKenzie says he can make the play, and he does. Frustrating for Bazell as he heads back to the Red Raider dugout. Now Austin Green with 2 outs. Tracer Lopez walked to lead off this inning, but Cash with the bloop into shallow left field. That Walk ran down. Bazell pops up in the infield. And Green, who popped up behind second base in his first at-bat, is at the plate. Well, same thing, got underneath that one, and it's in the infield. McKenzie again circling around near third base, makes the play, and the inning is over. We've played 3 here at Danlaw Field at Rip Griffin Park in Love. TJ Pompey back in the second to end that inning. Sooners went in order against Uterra in that inning, but came up with a 3-hit inning in the third, scoring 2 more runs to lead 4-1. Butler's the guy that drove in the first 2 runs of this series with a double in the top of the second inning back on Friday night. Sooners won that 8-0, held the Red Raiders to just 4 hits. Three and one, but Gus pitching behind to the Sooners is no way to make a living.
Well, you got that right.
On the reach out, slaps that one into left center field. You've got Red Raider outfielders Woodcocks and Harrelson there almost running together, but Harrelson makes the catch. A lot of carry on that ball.
Both of those guys doing a good job of communicating, busting it to the ball. It looked like both of them had a good play on it right at the last minute. Woodcock's backing off to avoid the collision and allow Harrelson to make that play.
Here's the Sooners left fielder today, Jason Walk. He saw one pitch from Uterra back in the third when he was leading off, and he slapped it through the right side for a single. He's the breaker there for a called strike. Walk, a freshman in this lineup for Skip Johnson. Making his 20th career start today. He's played primarily in the outfield, a lot of center field. As Gus mentioned, while Spikerman was out, started 19 games. But he's got great speed. We saw him run down that Gavin Cash blooper into left field earlier. Now Uterra, the Red Raider freshman out of North Richland Hills, has battled back. The count is full. Can't finish him, though. That's ball 4. Third walk that Uterra has allowed since coming into the ball game. And now you're back to the top of the order in Spikerman, who homered off Uterra in the third. Only his second home run of the year. And 7th of his career.
Left-hander Derek Bridges begins to work in the Tech bullpen. He is joined by Josh Sanders. Double-barreled action. The Sooners with 4 switch hitters in the lineup today.
Runner goes. Bazel's throwdown is wide of the bag. Lopez leaping into the air to make that catch. Tried to reach down and put the tag on Walk, but he can't do it. Walk with 1 out has stolen second base. 6th stolen base of the series for Sooner base runner. Spikerman lays down the bunt. This is a good one. There's going to be no play by Uterra at all. Walk made a big turn around third base on that. Had Uterra seen that, might have been able to get him over at third base, but Spikerman, outstanding bunt. And now the Sooners have runners on the corners with 1 out.
Bazel giving some defensive signs here with runners on first and third and 1 out. Red Raiders need to be crystal clear on how they want to defend the steal. Here comes Coach Tadlock.
Might be the end of the day for Utera. As you noted, there has been activity in the Red Raider bullpen, and Tim Tadlock signals that direction. Going to make a pitching change. It's 4-1 Sooners here in the fourth.
Tunnel vision, keep the algorithm in the kitchen, cooking up, then you're looking up like it's finished. I love, never get it twisted, cause I really want more. You ain't got your boots on, how you gonna stall?
Screen. More good ones there. What a story Drew Woodcox is. Certainly Josh Sanders' evolution from where he was as a freshman to what he's done so far this year. A big part of the story.
Yeah, Drew Woodcox has the Red Raiders' best batting average in Big 12 play, and now Josh Sanders called on to get this team out of a mess here in the fourth inning.
And you see the season totals there. Obviously, very good numbers. He leads his ball club in appearances in Big 12 play alone. It's his 14th appearance, 2-1 the record with 2 saves and a 2.38 ERA in 22-plus innings. He's in a big spot right here.
Yeah, runners at the corners for the Sooners with 1 out here in the fourth inning. Bryce Madron, the batter, reached on an error and scored in the first inning, lined out to center field in the third. But yesterday went 3 for 4 with a single, a double, and a home run, and drove in 2. Sanders off the mark in his first 2 pitches.
Red Raiders playing for the double play ball up the middle here with runners in the corners and 1 out.
That home run yesterday by Madron, his 10th of the year. He leads the Sooners team with that. And that ball's lined over the head of T.J. Pompey at second. Walk scores from third. And the Sooners have their 5th run of the game as Madron delivers.
And Sanders pitching behind Madron there. On a center cut 2-0 fastball that's ripped into right field for the base hit.
Jason Walk for the Sooners has been on base twice today and scored each time. And now Easton Carmichael. Carmichael is 0 for 2 today, grounded to Cade McGee at third and flied out to Green in right. Carmichael now 3 for 12 in the series. Couple of singles yesterday. And a single on Friday night. Sanders at 91 for a cold strike. Now 0-2 to the Sooner DH.
They're shading him to pull on the infield. Pompey works on Spikerman out there at second.
A foul tipped off the Red Raider catcher. And Bazell, a little bit of pain after that. Home plate umpire Jeffrey Heinrich's going to give Bazell a moment to shake that one off. Well, we saw that play at the plate earlier in this series too, Gus, where it looked like Bazell's knee got twisted around, but he got right back up.
Yeah, it has been a rough go, as it often is. Back there behind the plate, Kevin Bazell, a tough kid.
Oh, pick play back at second. Red Raiders. Oh, and they threw it away. Pompey threw it past McGee at third base. And you were going to have Spikerman out at third, but T.J. Pompey's throw wide of the mark at third base. Ball hit the wall over there near the Sooners dugout, bounced right back out there towards McGee. But the Red Raiders miss a huge opportunity there.
30-something at bats. couple of monster errors. I'm sure he's never struggled like he is right now. It's not an easy thing for a freshman to deal with. That was a gift wrapped out right there.
Let a ground ball get through him back in the first inning, and it set up a 2-run homer. Missed an opportunity there to get Spikerman at third base on a pickoff play. And now Carmichael delivers a shot into right field. It'll be deep enough, likely to score a run. Green makes the catch. Throw is on the way, all the way through. But Spikerman ahead of the throw by Austin Green adds another run to the Sooner lead. It's now 6-1 Oklahoma.
A really good piece of hitting there. Carmichael stays on that delivery, shoots a fly ball to right field. It gets one in and gets one over. That error, massive at this point.
In the first inning, a double in the third. It was the Sooners' 55th double in Big 12 play this season. They lead the league in that category. Snyder now 5 for 9 in the series. And he's been hit by pitches a couple of times, too. Breaker from Sanders for a called strike, now 0-2. Big guy, 6'3", 230. Transfer from Washington. He's out of Woodland Hills, California.
That fastball just off the outside corner. Sanders wanted it, understandably. 92-mile-an-hour delivery.
Got him. Painted the corner there at 93. Snyder didn't like the call. He'll leave a runner at third, but the inning is over with the Sooners for the third time in the game.
Carson Atwood has done a nice job. He allowed Tech's only run in the first two hitters. A leadoff triple by Lopez and a cash RBI ground out to start this ballgame in the first, and it's been goose eggs ever since.
Drew Woodcox grounded into a fielder's choice play to end that first inning for the Red Raiders, but still looking for his first hit in this series. Started today with the Red Raiders' best average in Big 12 play, but hit that one right at Willits. And Drew Woodcox is retired to start this fourth inning. Gus, this has been the kind of series to this point when you've watched this Oklahoma team, you're trying to figure out why they haven't won more games than they have. They have been outstanding.
Yeah, really is a interesting sheet for them to see what an 11-11 record outside of conference play. Hard to imagine this team getting swept at home by Lamar University, but that happened.
Yeah.
Boy, they're playing good baseball right now.
As they were when they passed through here a couple of years ago.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of a deal where you say, man, we wish we'd have gotten them earlier in the season.
No doubt.
Landon Stripling here fouled out to McKenzie over at third in his only other plate appearance today. Freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. High school All-American. Trying to add to his 25 hit total here in his first collegiate season.
Cincinnati took 2 of 3 from West Virginia. at home this weekend. They're in Cincinnati. They won today 8-2 in the rubber game of that series. Cincinnati Ball Club, a really good story. One of the teams that's new to the league. Well, they jumped right in. Really good young head coach. They've done a nice job this year holding their own.
Battled their way into the likely making the conference tournament. That's ball 4 to Stripling. Gus mentioned a moment ago, 2022 when the Sooners rolled into Lubbock and they just kept that thing rolling right on into the College World Series and finished as the national runners-up.
Yeah, they were fantastic down the stretch 2 years ago. They got hot as a firecracker, rolling through road regional wins in Florida. Blacksburg got to Omaha, took care of their side of the bracket before Ole Miss finally cooled them off in the finals. Cade Horton, a big part of that team. It was around this point 2 years ago that he took a big leap forward. Ended up being, I think, the 8th player taken in the draft, now pitching in AAA in the Cubs organization.
145 games.
Tremendous stretch run for the 2022 Sooners, and they're trying to do it again here.
Sooners have made 11 trips to the College World Series.
Skip Johnson out to talk to his right-hander. The left-hander continues to work in their bullpen.
They have had activity in their bullpen, but Atwood on the mound with a 5-run lead. Hey, here's tonight's Sunday night baseball matchup, the third game of 4 between the Giants and the Phillies of Bryce Harper. It's 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Skip perhaps getting a feel for his pitcher at this point, Gus?
This is a 50 pitch count, which is right at one of the bigger numbers of the year for Atwood. 53 pitches, his season high. But he's buzzing along and in control right here.
Three 3-0 to Cade McGee is inside ball 4. He's walked back-to-back Red Raider hitters here in the 4th inning. Well, trailing by 5, this is what the Red Raiders need. They need guys on base. Gage Harrelson is the Red Raider batter. And Skip Johnson has made a U-turn out of the Sooner dugout. He's headed back to the mound. Oklahoma will make a pitching change here in the bottom of the 4th. They are on top 6-1. After the initial triple by Tracy Lopez to lead off in the ground ball by Cash, he really didn't allow much to the Red Raiders. He has walked 2 here in this 4th inning, making for the pitching change, but now up to a former Red Raider to deal with his ex-teammates. But I thought Atwood did a really good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Up around the season high pitch total for him. Carried this outing into the 4th inning. He's right at his season high this year. And there's a look at James Hitt. 4th-year man. 2-4 record, 7.96 ERA on the season. He last pitched on Tuesday at Oral Roberts, went 4 innings of 2-run baseball. Took the loss in their 3-1 loss to Oral Roberts. He's on right here to pitch to Gage Harrelson with the runners on first and second and 1 out.
Yeah, that loss to ORU was the 3rd in a row for the Sooners after they had dropped 2 against Texas. But they have ended that losing streak and started a winning streak here in Lubbock. Taking games 1 and 2 against the Red Raiders, now trying to sweep a series for the 5th time in Big 12 play this year. It will face Gage Harrelson with TJ Pompey on deck and Red Raiders at first and second. First pitch swinging, Harrelson lifts that ball into fairly deep center field, but playable for Spikerman, who will start in and make the catch. Throw cut off there, but no attempt to move up by Stripling, and now there are 2 away. The Red Raiders going to make a change in their batting order here. Here's Will Burns batting for TJ Pompey with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Conceivable that Burns could stay in the ball game defensively, but here batting for TJ Pompey, who lined out to short in his only at-bat today, extending his slump to 1 for his last 34. So Will Burns will try and keep this inning going for the Red Raiders with 2 out and 2 on.
And 2 very costly errors here today also for Pompey. It's been a tough stretch for him.
Burns has 8 hits on the season. 7 of them have come here at home. Big swing and a miss there. Hit delivers at 84. The only hit outside of this ballpark for Will Burns came in Game 2 at Arkansas. Singled against the Hogs. That ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down. Will Burns delivers. Rounding third is the Red Raiders' Landon Stripling. Throw is coming from the outfield, and it's in time. Stripling is cut down at the plate for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Raiders trying to be aggressive on the base pass on the hit.
Comes in today hitting .378 in conference play. My goodness, what a find he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's a mature player and really works hard at it. I think Russell Raley and Reggie Willis did a lot of good things to help him, understand his development and growth in the game.
And Carson Atwood, your starter today, I gave up the triple to Tracer Lopez to get started, and you took him out after a couple of base on balls there in the inning, but he had done an outstanding job for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older player, and we wanted to open with him. I knew he'd throw strikes, and, he got a little tired in that last inning. We opened up with him, tried to go an extra inning, and it ended up not happening.
Well, things are looking up for you right now with a 6-1 lead. We appreciate the time, and we'll let you get back to the ball game.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
You bet.
You bet.
McKenzie grounding out to get this 5th inning started, and now Jackson Nicholas. But, man, what a throw. Looked like the Red Raiders had something going on the hit by Burns, and Oklahoma makes an outstanding defensive play to end that Red Raider threat and hold on to their 5-run lead.
Spikerman has been outstanding here today. A homer and a base hit, and then that defensive play.
Nicholas here gives one a pretty good poke on the left side and right on the foul line in the corner down the left field way. Drew Woodcock's there to make the catch for out number 2. Here's Willits to face Josh Sanders. Willits working on an 0 for 2 day. Struck out back in the 2nd, flied out to right in the 3rd. That ended the Sooners at bat. 2 runs in that inning on the home run by Spikerman. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Sooners. Red Raiders have 1 run on a couple of hits, and Willits has his first hit of the day. Rockets that one into right field, and Austin Green's got to get that ball in quickly. Willits, a big turn around first base. Like if you're not on that ball quickly, he's going to try and take 2.
Yeah, and that's the way you're taught. You want to make that outfielder stop you. That way you're busting it until he getting off a decent throw. The farther away he is from first base, the more you can get. But that is all about being able to react in case there's a bobble or a juggle. Just keep right on going to second. But good, aggressive base running there by Willits.
2 outs now for Mudler, who is grounded out and flied out in 2 at-bats today. Well, they're now 0 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 2 today after a 2 for 4 night on Friday that included a pair of doubles. Doubled in the top of the second and again in the fifth. He scored in the 5th inning.
Well, this veteran core for the Sooners has been outstanding. Snyder, McKenzie, Nicholas, Spikerman, Mudler, Madron. That is a good list. I would imagine several of those guys will hear their names called this summer. Not just limited to that list, of course. I would imagine their Friday night starter, Braden Davis, will hear his name called as well.
He was outstanding here, doing his part in that shutout of the Red Raiders. There's a strike from Sanders, now 2-2. Senior out of Yukon, Oklahoma. Those 9 Red Raiders seniors honored before today's game, 7 of them are pitchers. The other 2, Austin Green in right field today, Drew Woodcock's out in left. Now 3-2 to Mudler, much to the dismay of many Red Raider faithful.
And Willits will be on the move here with a full count, 2 outs. Cash playing way behind him over there at first.
There he goes. Pitch is lifted into the air over near third base, but Cade McGee will run out of room.
Russell Rayleigh, the third base coach for the Sooners, backpedaling out of the way of Cade McGee as he pursued that. Rayleigh played at Oklahoma in the mid-aughts when Coach Tadlock was an assistant there, and then he was on Tim's first coaching staff here at Texas Tech.
Well, breaking ball from Sanders. I think he knew that wasn't going to get close enough when he let it go, and he walks Mudler on the 3-2 pitch, and the Sooners again, with 2 outs, have runners at first and second base. Here's their 9-hole hitter, left fielder Jason Walk. Singled and scored in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 4th.
Cash and McGee playing very shallow here to take the bunt base hit away from Walk. He's a switch hitter.
5'10", 160-pound freshman out of Ackworth, Georgia. Didn't play in games 1 or 2 of this series, but has made his presence known today. Also against Kansas State back on April 13th, went 3 for 4 with a home run and drove in a couple of runs. So he packs a punch. Hits that one pretty well into center field. Gage Harrelson going back on it and will make the play. Walt gave it a ride, but the inning is over. Sooners do not score. They leave 2.
There's a look at the Big 12 scoreboard today. West Virginia, Cincinnati. Bearcats take 2 of 3. They win that rubber game today. OSU trying to salvage one there in Austin as they're in control of that one, 5-1 in the 8th. K-State and Kansas in a rubber game there. K-State trying to take 2 of 3. TCU trying to sweep the Baylor Bears there in Waco. And the other series this weekend, UCF playing at Houston. Their game today weathered out, has been canceled. UCF takes both games that were played in that series. Of course, we mentioned this earlier. BYU was playing out of conference this weekend at the University of Miami. Miami took 2 of 3 from BYU there.
Yeah, and starting today, both TCU and Texas Tech would be out of the Big 12 tournament. A Frogs win would help their chances. Red Raiders, should they take a loss today, that would be a serious blow to the Big 12 tournament.
They are in trouble in more ways than one. Down 5 runs as they play here today. With 3 road games in Stillwater next weekend, it is getting late and it is getting tight for the Red Raiders. They came into this weekend projected as a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. But I'm sure baked into that projection was not a sweep at home, which would be the first in Texas Tech and Tim Tadlock's tenure at Texas Tech.
Tracer Lopez to lead off here for the Red Raiders. 5th inning, bloops that one into shallow left field. Walk is waiting on that one to come down. 1 pitch for hit here in the inning, and the Red Raiders have 1 out. Gavin Cash is 0 for 2 today, but his ground ball in the first inning scored Tracer Lopez. That's the Red Raiders' only run so far today. It delivers at 94 for a called strike. Former Red Raider, a senior out of Magnolia. Cash with 38 home runs. Among Texas Tech's top 10 in the program history. Only a few away, really, from Clint Bryant, Gus, and he delivers a base hit single there. Red Raiders got to have people on base. Gavin Cash gets his 63rd hit of the year. He and Damian Bravo are the Red Raiders' only 2 players with more than 60 base hits this season.
Cash hooking a outside pitch through the right side. He barreled it up and drilled it with a 1-out single here.
Kevin Bazell walked back in the first inning, popped up to 3rd in the 3rd inning. Gavin Cash does have 3 stolen bases this season. Bazell, of course, led the Big 12 in doubles a year ago with 24 of them. He's got 11 this season. The Red Raiders, as a team, have 114. Well, that pitch up and got away from Mudler behind the plate. Gavin Cash going to be able to get down to second base.
A big location miss there. That pitch way up and out of the zone. Mudler unable to corral it.
Now 3-1 to the Red Raider catcher.
That ruled a pass ball.
That one off the Red Raiders' third base coach.
Yeah, looked like it got him on the heel, maybe. He seems to be no worse for the wear. Coach Thomas.
Is he allowed to rub it?
He's probably not. He's an old catcher. He's probably not going to do that.
3-2 to Bazell. Well, that's inside ball 4. So Kevin Bazell follows the single by Gavin Cash with a walk, and now 2 on for the Red Raiders with 1 out. And Austin Green at the plate, who will bat from the right side, presumably after a discussion on the mound with the Sooners. Sooner pitching has walked 5 Red Raider batters today, but none of them have scored. Pitching change for the Sooners. We'll tell you about the new guy when we return. 6-1 Oklahoma here in the 5th.
The Matador Club is the official NIL collective of Texas Tech Athletics. What does the Matador Club do? They create partnerships.
Red Raiders here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Gavin Cash single, a walk to Kevin Bazell. End of the brief outing for former Red Raider James Hitt, and now another ex-Red Raider on the mound for the Sooners, Gus.
Yeah, Girton making his 13th appearance, about half of those in relief. He's been working out of the bullpen more recently. See those numbers there, 24 walks and 41 Ks in 31 2/3 innings. He's also hit 8 guys, so 32 free passes for Girton in 31 2/3 innings. Last week against Texas, 2 2/3. 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He threw 44 pitches a week ago. So he should have some bullets here today.
Began his career as a Red Raider back in 2021. Pitched 42 times for Texas Tech. 9 starts. He'll face Austin Green, who will switch sides of the plate. Left-hander hit. He was going to bat from the right side, but the right-handed Brendan Girton sends Austin Green back to the left side of the plate, the only Red Raider switch hitter in the lineup. Austin 0 for 2 today. He has popped up in the infield twice. He'll take a strike from Girton at 94. A little bit of juice right there, Gus.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, arm strength was never the question with Brendan.
Wants to talk to his catcher. The pitch clock was down to about 2 on that when he turned to look back at second base. Apparently, communicating with the dugout has been a bit of a problem. We've seen this plenty of times. Austin has only 1 hit in this series. He's 1 for 10 now. It was a single yesterday. Pops that one up into foul territory. McKenzie gave chase, but off the screen. Now 0-2 to the Red Raider right fielder.
Green out in front of a little off-speed pitch there. Might have been a changeup. Capped that foul ball off the netting down the third base line here. He's working out of an 0-2 hole here.
That ball is lined sharply into right field. Madron's not going to get it. The Red Raiders are going to have the bases loaded with the second hit of this inning. No thought of sending Gavin Cash around third. Bazell moves up to second. Green is on with his first hit of the day. And the Red Raiders have the bases loaded for Drew Woodcocks.
Good piece of 2-strike hitting by Green. Drilling that pitch out. Down 5 right here. Got some traffic. Need to put a dent in that deficit.
Drew Woodcocks does not have a hit against Sooner pitching in the series, but he bats here with one out and the bases loaded. 95 from Girton there for a called strike. 2 of those 9 seniors who are playing at home for the final time today, Austin Green, who just singled, and now Drew Woodcocks at the plate. He'll take strike 2.
A little cutter from Girton. In for a strike. That pitch freezes Woodcocks.
Now behind 0-2 with the Red Raiders' threat. Trying to keep it alive. Senior out of Houston's Lamar High School. Woodcocks began his career as a Red Raider, went to Rice for a year, but then returned after that. Just enough of that one to stay alive. Today's the 115th game of his collegiate career. He could make it memorable for the right reasons with a hit here. Swing and a miss. Girton goes upstairs, and Woodcock strikes out.
Woodcock's chasing a cutter up at his eyes.
Sooners may still be having problems communicating with their pitcher. Home plate umpire Jeffrey Heinrichs asking the Sooner dugout if they need to run something out to their pitcher, but apparently not. And now Girton is talking to the second base umpire, Seth Buckminster.
And Girton was saying, should I call time here? Probably wanted to make sure he didn't get charged for a ball as they wait this thing out. The 20-second clock is now moving.
Landon Stripling, the batter. Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Red Raiders. Stripling was thrown out at home back in the 4th inning on the single by Will Burns into center field. Red Raider freshman in a big spot here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Red Raiders today are 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And a big opportunity here. Girton came out of high school in Oklahoma as the second ranked right-handed pitcher in the state and among the top 50 in the country. That on the inside corner for a called strike to Stripling, now 2-2. Does he go back upstairs, Gus?
He's patting the bottom of the zone here. That was a 95-mile-an-hour heater way up and out of the zone. Now, full count, 2 outs. We'll have all these base runners on the move. Sooner infielders signaling to each other, reminding them, hey, the play's at first here. They're going to be on the move. Will the base runners?
Cash is at third, Bazell at second, Austin Green at first. They're all going. Stripling pops that one up, but it'll get back into the seats. He'll get another chance. This the 95th at-bat of Stripling's young career. He doesn't strike out much, only 10 times. Oh, pop that one up in the infield. McKenzie may have a chance over at third near the dugout, but it will clear the net. Stripling will get another chance, a .250 hitter through the course of the season with the bases loaded. Red Raiders are hoping this is that one at-bat.
Needing to put a dent in this 5-run deficit, that's for sure. The Sooners trying to hang another 0.
Long look by Girton. Those base runners will be on the move again. There they go, pitch up and in. He takes ball 4. Stripling hangs in there and doesn't chase that one. The walk will score Gavin Cash from third base and bring Cade McGee to the plate.
It's a good at-bat by Stripling to hang in there. Ultimately win it, drive in a run. Well, the tying run to the plate here in the form of Cade McGee.
Brendan Girton has faced 3 Red Raider batters, allowed a single by Austin Green. He struck out Woodcocks, and now he walks Stripling. And now here's Cade McGee. Oh, he threw that one over the top. Butler's trying to run the ball down. The play at the plate is not in time. Bazell is safe there. They got away from Girton, and the Red Raiders are going to try and score another. And they do. Austin Green comes from second to score, and all the way around to third on the play is Landon Stripling. Girton threw it away, and the Red Raiders scored 2 runs.
You know, the ball airmailed to the backstop, and it hits off the top of the padding and pops straight up. So that base run.
Couple of errors charged to the Sooners on that play.
Yeah, I would assume we'll have a wild pitch and an E2, I would think. At a minimum.
Butler trying to get the ball back to Girton. Girton leaping up over the sliding Bazell, did not catch the ball. And then Snyder trying to come back in from first to pick up the ball as Green was racing home. Missed the catcher with his toss. And that pitch up and into Cade McGee again. Here's some of that play, Gus, at home a moment ago.
Good aggressive running by the trailing base runner, Austin Green.
Cade McGee hit it right at McKenzie over at third. McKenzie continues his outstanding play at third base. The Red Raiders at-bat is over, but 3 runs score for Texas, down 6-4 after those 3 runs in the 5th inning. And Josh Sanders here in the top of the 6th. We'll see the top of that Oklahoma batting order: Spikerman, Madron, and Carmichael. Spikerman a 2-for-3 day. Struck out in the first, but he has homered and reached on a bunt single since then and scored each time. One and two the count on the Sooner center fielder. Gus, the Red Raiders in that bottom half of the 5th obviously very aggressive at the plate, as Bazell and Green both scoring on that ball that got past Mudler behind home plate, and that coming after Landon Stripling had been thrown out at home in the previous inning from center field.
Yeah, no doubt. Whale of a play. That throw by Spikerman looms large in this ball game right now.
Might be a 1-run game or even tied perhaps, but outstanding play at the plate to end that Red Raider threat.
Well, you think about that. If Spikerman doesn't throw out Stripling there's runners on first and second and a run in. You never know how much more of that juice that inning might have had in it.
Spikerman rolls that one past Will Burns at second base into right field. The Sooners trying to get right back in the offensive mode. Have their leadoff batter on. Third hit of the day for Spikerman. Sooners got 2 in the first, 2 more in the third, 2 in the fourth. Now Madron, who's got a hit today, and that pitch gets away from Bazell. Spikerman is up to second base quickly.
Big location miss here for Sanders. That ruled a pass ball. Not the tone you want to set after a 3-run inning. Get you back in this ball game. Base hit, pass ball.
Off speed, big swing and a miss by Madron there. Singled in walk back in the fourth inning. Reached on an error in the first and scored. Came around on the Snyder 2-run homer in that inning. Spikerman also with a home run today for the Sooners. That ball's lifted into left field. Woodcock's a long run. He's in foul territory and he's out of room.
We did get some scoring clarity in that 3-run inning in there in the bottom of the fifth. The first run scored on the wild pitch. The second run scored on the E2 by Mudler. It was Stripling advancing to third on the bad throw by Snyder back to the plate that represented the second error.
Ground ball right back up the middle. Burns will take it. Throw to first is in time. But moving over to third, Spikerman. So Madron does move the runner over.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting once Spikerman got to second base early in that count. Madron's looking for something he can pull, get to the right side to get Spikerman over. He does just that by chopping that ground ball over the mound. Nice play by Burns to his backhand, and now the runner on third with 1 out. The corners are going to play in here. Cash and McGee. Middle infield stays back.
Carmichael hits that one pretty well, though, off of Sanders. Woodcox is back, and he's going to run out of room. That ball is out of here. It's the third home run of this ball game by the Sooners. For Carmichael, his 5th of the year. And Spikerman will score in front of him and the Sooners after the 3 runs by the Red Raiders in the bottom half of the 5th have come right back to grab 2 more.
Yellow get over curveball to start Carmichael. And it's a hanger, and he blasted it out of here. No doubter. Red Raider, he's calling to the bullpen.
Sooners began this series not a huge home run hitting team, but they start today at 55. They've added 3 more here in this game 3 of the series. They're now on top 8-4 over the Red Raiders.
Why always the couch? Does he need to go to puppy school? Get his little puppy to
Fan, you gotta have it. Sign up today at espnplus.com/Big12Now. Josh Sanders out. Derek Bridges on for the Red Raiders.
Derek making his 16th appearance. There you see the season totals. On a day where the Sooners have 3 true left-handed hitters and 4 switch hitters. At the very least, he's going to be turning some of these guys around. Michael Snyder, a true right-handed hitter, has been very, very good here this weekend. Continued his good work here today with a homer and a double.
First pitch he sees from Bridges, lifts it into center field, drops in front of Gage Harrelson. And the Sooners' inning continues.
Yeah, a little cap shot, humpback line drive out there to the logo in center field. Harrelson doing all he can to come get that. Lands for the base hit.
Snyder now with 6 hits in the series against the Red Raiders with his 3rd today. He's a triple away from the cycle, Gus. Homered in his first at-bat, a double in the 3rd, and a single here in the 6th. A big swing and a miss from McKenzie here, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. You look at these guys on base for the Sooners, Gus. Over at first base, Derek Bridges, a left-handed pitcher, staring right at Snyder, who is way off the bag.
Yeah, in the old days of the dirt cutout on turf fields, the old AstroTurf, as Bazell's going to get his earpiece worked on. Yeah, back in those days, one of the ways you'd sort of measure leads just visually is if a guy had 1 foot on the dirt, 1 foot on the turf, or 2 feet in the dirt. This lead by Snyder would be represented by 2 feet on the turf. It is a big lead.
Quick change for the Red Raider catcher, Kevin Bazell. One and one, the count to McKenzie. Senior out of Houston, who began his career at Sam Houston. Bridges will go to first base. One of McKenzie's 2 hits in this series was a home run. Hit that yesterday in the 5th inning. A 3-run shot. It's the normal way for a first baseman to get up after a throw, isn't it?
Kind of bridge yourself back up. Yeah. Throw a little low. And Gavin sits down. Mercy, that's a big lead.
Ten hits for the Sooners today. All 3 games of this series, they have been in double digits. 12 on Friday night, 11 on Saturday, and now 10 against Red Raider pitching today. Oh, off speed, big swing and a miss by McKenzie there. Fooled by Bridges.
Yeah, McKenzie thought he had a fastball to work with there. Bridges pulls the string. 2-2 the count.
Not sure you don't come right back with that one again. Oh, and he got him. Off-speed pitch. McKenzie looks at strike 3, and there are 2 away here in the Sooner 6th.
Breaking ball freezes McKenzie.
The art of pitching there, Gus.
No doubt. Bridges making a couple good pitches to finish off that at bat by McKenzie.
The 2 runs are in for the Sooners. They have doubled up the Red Raiders at 8-4. Jackson Nicholas here 0 for 2 today. Did walk in the 3rd.
McKenzie, a .352 hitter in Big 12 play. He hadn't done a whole lot of what he just did right there.
Starting today, Nicholas's 4 hits against the Red Raiders were the most of any Sooner through games 1 and 2. But Spikerman has had 3 hits today. He's got 6 in the series now. Snyder has 3 hits. He's got 6 as well. be a bit of an exaggeration, Gus, but that lead at first base by Snyder is just huge.
Yes, it is. Well beyond 2 feet on the turf. That would be right there. He's going to get one more right there.
He's 12 for 13 in stolen base attempts. And he's leaning. There he goes. Pitch to Bazell. Gets it to second base, but Lopez can't get the tag.
First pitch breaking ball in for a strike here. The count is 0-1.
That's not a small, speedy guy either, Gus.
No, you're exactly right. That's a big old first baseman. Amazing that he went 4 years at Washington without stealing a base, and so good here this year. 12 for 13 this year in stolen base attempts. Yesterday, the Red Raiders picked him off.
Breaker to Nicholas for a called strike. One and two now to the Sooners' second baseman. Derek Bridges trying to get the Red Raiders out of this mess. Oh, big breaking ball stayed up. Eight, 10-2 for the Sooners. 4, 5-2 for the Red Raiders.
Bridges needs to vary his looks back there to Snyder at second.
Ground ball. This will be Will Burns. Now it's second. To Cash, the inning is over, but the two-run homer by Carmichael pushes the Oklahoma lead out to 8-4. Red Raiders. Gerton's pitch got away, and two Red Raiders score. As Bazell and Austin Green came from second base on the play to score. Now Gage Harrelson, who has an infield single and a fly ball out in 2 trips today. Harrelson had 8 hits in the series against Oklahoma last year in Norman. Included a double and a pair of triples.
James hit win an inning. Allowed 2 hits and a walk, 2 runs. They were both earned.
Now a second former Red Raider, Brendan Gerton, on the mound, has run the count to 3 balls and no strikes to Harrelson.
There is a left-hander working in the Sooner bullpen.
Starts him with 4 straight balls. It's the second walk allowed by Gerton since coming out of the Sooner bullpen. Red Raiders have their leadoff batter on. And Will Burns will bat. Burns came on to pinch hit for T.J. Poppy in the bottom of the 4th, singled into center field, but Spikerman coming on, scooped up the ball and threw out Landon Stripling trying to score from second base. That looms very large in this game. But Gerton yet to find the strike zone here in the 6th. Does there at 93. Burns in that series against the Sooners a year ago, just 1 at bat. He was 0 for 1. Did bat in game 1 on Friday night, pinch hit in the 8th inning and grounded out to Willits at short. Sophomore out of Mission Viejo, a walk-on with the Red Raider football team as a quarterback. That went in on the handle, but it will drift into the seats. Not wind aided today.
That's a souvenir for a happy fan. Yeah, we do not have much wind in this ballpark today. Just Chamber of Commerce weather here in the home finale.
Red Raiders' 50th game of the season is their last at home. They're trying to find a way to rally against the Sooners. Gage Harrelson is off on the move. The pitch is swung on and missed by Burns. That's strike 3. But Will Burns is out. Harrelson is at second. The Red Raiders have the top of the order at the plate in Tracer Lopez, and Skip Johnson wants to make a change with Lopez coming to the plate. Brendan Girton's day will be over. The Sooners will have a new pitcher to face the Red Raiders' leadoff hitter. We'll find out who it is in a moment. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out for the Red Raiders. It is 8-4 Sooners.
The Matador Club is the official NIL collective of Texas Tech Athletics. What does the Matador Club do? They create party.
Way to Crooks. He finished up the ball game in outstanding fashion. Or worked an inning and 2/3 in outstanding fashion. Setting up Witherspoon for the win. But yeah, Carter Campbell, second appearance this weekend. Walked Lopez. He's going to get another shot at Lopez here today. He's nursing a 4-run lead. Red Raiders had cut it down to 2 an inning ago. 2-run homer opened it back up for the Sooners.
Campbell walked Tracer Lopez on 4 straight pitches. Red Raiders hoping that it's deja vu all over again, but we'll find out. Gage Harrelson began this inning. Lopez against Campbell. And that is a called strike. Lopez asking about that. Campbell, a senior out of Keller. Lopez in that game yesterday in the 9th inning hit a 2-run homer for the Red Raiders out to right field. Oh, check swing and a miss by Lopez, strike 2.
Yeah, Lopez jumping at a breaking ball there, way out in front, and able to hold a swing. Campbell. Tough in that left on left situation.
Lopez just gets a piece of that one. Second baseman Jackson Nicholas is in short right field for Lopez. 1-2 pitch on the way.
That breaking ball just off the outside corner. We count even at 2-2. Yeah, Lopez has pulled 3 balls with authority here this weekend. The triple and the home run, also a base hit here on Friday.
Got him. Off speed from Campbell there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sooner pitching here in the 6th inning.
Looked like Campbell went to the straight change there. Lopez way out in front of it. Pitch there, Carter Campbell.
Now he'll face another lefty in Gavin Cash. Sooners put the shift on for the Red Raider first baseman, even with Harrelson at second base. Cash, a ground ball in the 1st inning, scored Lopez, who had tripled. Gavin singled and scored in the 5th inning. He came home on the bases loaded walk to Landon Stripling. And then the wild play with Cade McGee at the plate.
Willets well onto the first base side out there at second. They're playing. Cash to pull. Nicholas out in shallow right field. And Willets not even holding him. Harrelson could get a huge lead here, but you've also got left-handed hitter up there. So if he's going to try to take third, he needs to be certain. Not really what's called for in this spot as the Red Raiders trail by 4 runs.
There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Hard hit ball, but into that shift. And that is Willits, the shortstop, who makes the play. Over to first base. Red Raider threat is extinguished. We are on to the Big 12 to catch all of the action. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Sooners here in the top half of the 7th inning. Willits, Mudler, and Walk are due up against the Red Raiders' Derek Bridges. Bridges came on in the 6th, allowed a single to Snyder, but then struck out McKenzie and got Nicholas to ground out to end the inning. Here's a ground ball past the diving Lopez into left field. Willits has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. The Sooners have a leadoff runner on here in the 7th inning. There's Mudler, 0 for 2 today with the ground out and a fly out. He walked in the 5th inning. Gus, a lot of folks like to listen to or watch a baseball game and even come to a game and keep score.
Sure.
That final play of the Red Raiders, 6th inning, ground ball into the shift. That's the shortstop making a play, but he's on the other side of second base.
Yeah, if you're keeping statistics and you're crediting a fielder with an assist and another one with a putout at the 6-3, it tells you all you need to know if you're trying to scout the ball game. Say, where did he hit the ball? You think ground ball to shortstop, he must have hit it over there to the left field side of second base, right?
But no.
No, and so that has become a topic of conversation. You certainly used to hear a lot about it when the big leaguers were allowing those shifts. There's a right-hander working in the Tech bullpen. See Isaiah Rhodes out there. Also the left-hander Erdman, it looks like. So double-barrel action for the Red Raiders.
3-0 count to Mudler. That's a called strike. 86 from Bridges.
Tech in the middle of final exams here right now, so no midweek game ahead for them. Next ball game on Friday night in Stillwater. Of course, next weekend here on this campus will be graduation weekend. Get your hotel rooms now. They'll be full.
It may be too late.
Yeah, get your dinner reservations. Make them now. If you're looking for that post-commencement dinner.
Oh, that's inside ball 4. First 2 Sooners to bat here in the top of the 7th have reached base. For the Red Raiders trailing by 4, that is not the kind of start you were looking for.
Well, you got the speedy Jason Walk up there. He's a threat to bunt. He can drop a bunt and sacrifice it. He can also drop a bunt and beat it out. We've seen the Red Raider corner infielders play in without base runners on. He's that much of a threat to beat out a drag bunt. And Coach Stadlock out of the Tech dugout. He wants to talk to his veteran left-hander. Walk a switch hitter.
Sooners have laid down 13 sacrifice bunts this year. Walk has one of those. But like you said, quick enough to beat that out if you don't play it very well. He's been on base twice today, a single in the third, a walk in the fourth, and he has scored on each of those times.
See Coach Tadlock there. He's addressing the left side of your screen. He's talking to his infielders as much as he is Bridges. There's McGee nodding. This is as much of a defensive visit as it is a pitching visit.
8-4 Sooners here in the seventh inning. Show you a little bit about how we've gotten here in the first inning. Michael Snyder off the Red Raiders starter Mac Ewer, who did not get out of that first inning. A 2-run homer. It was 2-0 Sooners at that point. The Sooners have added a couple more since then. Now 6-4. Walk does try and lay down the bunt. Bazell scooped it up and tagged Walk. He was still in the batter's box, and he's called out. That throw went down to second base where Mudler was trying to get to the bag there. Now the Sooners are going to want to ask what happened here.
Yeah, Bazell pounces on that bunt.
I mean, you've got Walk watching it. It was sky high, and it comes down. The question there.
Grabbed it as a fair ball, tagged Walk. Kind of an unorthodox sacrifice, but it gets the job done, and it's a good play by Bazell as he had a shot there at second base. It would have been a really unusual double play.
2 tag. I'm not sure where to put that down in the scorebook, Gus.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice, 2 tag. Don't see that every day, but.
Well, the runners do move up 90 feet to second and third for the top of the order in Spikerman, who's got 3 consecutive hits. A home run, a bunt single, and a regular single through the right side of the Red Raider infield. Hit it right at McGee. It's a race to the bag at third, and back in time is Willits. Great play by McGee. We have seen outstanding play at third base in this series. And Spikerman just rocketed that pitch. McGee's trying to race Willits back to the bag. It was very close.
Mitt.
Yeah.
Well, I think
it gets you back to the bag before you get there.
And you certainly don't second guess that effort there because McGee just made a whale of a play. Heck of an effort.
Oh, great play.
Yeah, if he
getting
had it
turned around, he stumbled just a little bit, and that's probably why Willits had the opportunity to beat him back to the bag.
Absolutely. If he had it to do over again, he might have tried to just tag Willits instead of beat him to the bag, but you can't second guess that effort. That was a fantastic play.
Clearly saved at least 1 run. And maybe 2. They're going to say that Willits beat McGee to the bag. But there are 2 outs now for Bryce Madron. So we've seen one play in this inning where a bunt did not get more than about a few inches away from home plate, and a runner tagged out right there, and then that play at third on just a smash off the bat of Spikerman.
The Tech infield employing a heavy shift here. Burns out in shallow right field. Lopez on the first base side of the bag. McGee, the only Red Raider on the left side of the infield, and he's got to stay over there even with the bag. He's treating Madron like there's a bunt threat here. We've seen Madron run around pretty good, and we know he runs well.
Madron, the guy in the first inning that hit that ground ball that got through the legs of T.J. Pompey, and 2 batters later, Snyder hit that home run. Bridges starts him with a breaking ball for a called strike. Madron, a senior out of Blanchard, Oklahoma, is the Sooners' home run leader. He's hit 10 this year. On deck is Easton Carmichael, who homered in his last at-bat. Another breaking ball that's lifted into center field. Harrelson is drifting back on it. He'll settle underneath it, make the catch. The inning is over. Sooners get him to second and third, but can't push him home. We are on to the home half of the 7th Little League Baseball together. Went to the same high school. Each of them spent a number of years in the JUCO coaching ranks before taking over programs. Tim Tadlock, of course, an assistant at Oklahoma before coming to the Texas Tech program. And Skip Johnson has a son who graduated from Texas Tech. So a lot of ties there. There are other local ties within that Oklahoma dugout, as you've heard us talk about some during the course of this series. But right now, the Red Raiders looking for at least 4 runs to try and even up the score in this ball game. Kevin Bazell, Austin Green, and Drew Woodcocks are due up here in this 7th inning. Bazell today has walked twice, scored in the 5th inning on that unusual play at the plate where the ball got thrown away and he raced home from third, and then Austin Green right behind him. Bazell also popped up to third back in the 3rd inning. Looking for his 3rd hit of the series, had 2 yesterday, including a home run. Got underneath that pitch from Campbell. Madron will be waiting when it comes down for out number 1 for the Red Raiders. Here's Austin Green. Singled and scored in that Red Raider 5th. He's popped up twice to the left side of the infield in his other 2 trips. Red Raiders have only 5 hits in the game today. Big swing and a miss there by Green.
Green just 2 for 11 here this weekend. He was part of the Senior Day festivities prior to the ball game.
Ground ball. Can Willits get to it? He cannot. Austin Green has a Red Raider single. His 2nd of the ball game. Red Raiders have a base runner with 1 out here in the 7th inning for Drew Woodcocks. If anybody is due on this team, it's Drew Woodcocks. At bat today, grounded out to short in the 4th, struck out in the 5th.
Woodcocks came into the weekend as a 362 hitter in Big 12 play. But as you said, he is 0 for 8 here so far.
Has 8 doubles on the season. 6 of them have come against Big 12 opponents, including 2 against TCU. And he's homered against UCF and Baylor. Hit it hard right down the third baseline. Pass McKenzie into the corner in left field. This will be a double for Woodcocks. Coming around third is the Red Raiders' Austin Green. They're going to stop him. Oh, he would have had no chance. But he races back to third base. And Drew Woodcocks delivers the double down the left field line.
Yeah, Coach Thomas just a touch late with the stop sign there. But Green doing a good job of seeing it because he hits third thinking score right there, and there comes the
hit of the ball game. Tracer Lopez led off for the Red Raiders with a triple. Now Landon Stripling, who has walked twice today and fouled out. Stripling a single as a pinch hitter in game one. He was 0 for 2 yesterday, but did walk twice. He's been walked 4 times in 2 games. Line drive into left center field. Spikerman's going to make the play. Green tags at third. He will score without a throw. And the Red Raiders have their 5th run of the game. Stripling with the sacrifice fly.
Boy, everything we've seen in the air this weekend has been swallowed up by these Sooner outfielders. These guys have really played well. They all run well. It's a good athletic group. Coach Johnson, Skip Johnson out. He is calling for the right-hander here.
Cade McGee will be the Red Raider batter. Stripling walked in the 5th inning with the bases loaded. Gavin Cash scored there on the RBI. Now the RBI on the sac fly for Landon Stripling. 8-5 Sooners on top as they make a pitching change here in the 7th.
The new pitcher, Dylan Crooks, yesterday lined out to short in their lone appearance against each other. There you see the season totals. Dylan Crooks has been very good for the Sooner Ball Club. Yesterday, he went an inning and 2/3, allowed a couple of hits, a run. It was earned. Didn't walk anyone, didn't strike anyone out.
He'll face Cade McGee with 2 outs and a Red Raider runner at second base. That's Drew Woodcox, who doubled to get on.
32 pitches here yesterday.
Cade McGee leads the Big 12 in being hit by pitches, but the Sooners haven't come close to him this weekend. That ball is lifted into right field. Ought to be an easy play from Madron. And it is, but the Red Raiders do get 1 run. It's 8-5 now as we head to the 8th inning here in.
In fact, I believe all of the other action is completed. Cincinnati wins the rubber game of that series against West Virginia. OSU gets 1 of the 3 games played in Austin by virtue of their win today. K-State takes 2 of 3 from Kansas. That was a rubber game today. TCU sweeps Baylor in Waco. And then UCF and Houston had their ball game today canceled. So UCF wins that series 2-0. Of course, BYU lost 2 of 3 playing out of conference at Miami. And the new pitcher for the Red Raiders is Zach Erdman. Young left-hander making his 11th appearance on the year. Some of that in relief, some of that in the form of midweek starts.
Erdman, another product of Keller High School.
Probably some good ball clubs there over the last few years, you would think. With
there ought to be.
It feels like you're calling out one of their former alumnus on the regular.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 there by Carmichael here starting the top of the 8th inning. Yep, Rayton Davis, who started for Oklahoma on Friday night out of Keller. Carter Campbell, another Keller alum, as is Zach Erdman. You'd have to leave all your hitters at home with the way those guys can throw.
Well, Erdman's definitely carried more of a load this year as a sophomore than he did last year as a freshman. He's done a good job.
I believe, Gus, based on those games you mentioned a moment ago, Oklahoma, of course, is leading the Big 12. They start today at 17-6. But with Texas and West Virginia losing, Oklahoma State winning, I believe that makes all 3 of those teams 15-9 in Big 12 play. So the Red Raiders, who will play at Stillwater next weekend, will have a challenge with a team that is right in the mix. It's Tracer Lopez throwing out Snyder at first base. There are 2 away here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, you got to believe that. Cowboys will be chomping at the bit to play next weekend to return home after losing 2 of 3 in Austin, knowing what's at stake. Remember, they were the other team that was listed as a host in the D1 baseball projections earlier this week.
UCF did not get to play today, so they will remain at 11 and 12. And Kansas State started the day 11 and 12. Cincinnati 12 and 11, and Kansas was 13 and 10 starting play today. TCU and Texas Tech are both trying to find a way to get into those top 8, 12 and 14 records starting today. McKenzie's shot into right field. Austin Green going back on it. The backhanded catch on the warning track, and Erdman has retired the Sooners in order here in the.
No doubt about that. In the sweep this weekend for TCU and Waco. Big, of course. Double-barreled action in the Sooner bullpen as we start the 8th.
Yeah, we'll show you those updated standings in a moment, but Gage Harrelson here to lead off for the Red Raiders. It is 8, 9, and 1 here in the Red Raider 8th inning, trailing by 3, 8-5. Dylan Crooks, junior out of Euless. Saw him in the game yesterday. That's popped up in the infield. McKenzie's got a chance for it as he drifts into foul territory. And he'll make the play. Harrelson retired. And now Will Burns, who's singled and struck out in 2 trips. Sharply hit ball into center field back in the 4th inning. Spikerman on to field it on the hop and then threw out the Red Raiders' Landon Stripling at home plate. Ground ball right back to the mound. Crooks will flip to his first baseman for out number 2. Very quickly, the Red Raiders not making a lot of noise here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Crooks just 5 pitches so far to get 3 outs.
Tracer Lopez led this ball game off with a triple. The Sooners will shift for the Red Raider shortstop. 3 infielders between first and second, and that foul ball goes the other direction, but way out of play. Tracer walked in the 3rd, flied out to left in the 5th, struck out in the 6th. Towering fly ball into center field, but Spikerman has circled underneath it, and catcher Mudler was in the dugout, I think, when Spikerman made that play in center field. Pretty confident. Top of the 9th here at Danlaw Field at Rip Griffin Park in Lubbock. Gus, updated look at the conference standings.
The top 7 in that graphic there. Kansas, Cincinnati, K-State all hovering right at 500. There's TCU and UCF and the Red Raiders alone in 10th place. The difference between Tech and Baylor, those 3 ball games, Baylor's got 6 left to play, Tech just 3. The Red Raiders trying to hang on to that final spot in Arlington.
And lost that series to Baylor, so you don't want to wind up with the same record if you are a Red Raider. Check swing, ground ball by Nicholas. Burns going to have to hurry, underhands that ball to Gavin Cash. And Erdman has retired all 4 Sooner batters he has seen since coming on in the 8th inning.
Now Burns does the right thing by Going to the underhand flip, it's easier for Cash to handle, but it's also quicker. Good firm flip, just beats Nicholas, who was busting it down the line.
Here's Jackson Willits. 2 for 4 day. Those 2 singles have come in his last 2 at-bats in the 5th and again in the 7th. Hit right at Lopez, hops over him. Rocket shot at the Red Raiders shortstop. Lopez trying to field that one on the hop, and it gets right past him.
Yeah, that ball sharply hit. It undresses Lopez. He was trying to gobble that up to his backhand. Willits over there at first base, grabbing at the and jogging around there. Grabbing at that hamstring. I think we're going to get a pinch runner here. Actually, we're going to get a trainer out to visit Willits. Willits is saying, hey, no, I'm good. But the trainer's going to
run all the way over there.
Well, yeah, you can't grab at the hamstring and jog around for a minute and then play it off as no big deal. You don't really pinch run for Willits, the shortstop.
Yeah, late in the season for the Sooners with their outstanding young shortstop, they'll take no chances. Get him back into the dugout and check him out. Scott Mudler, the batter. Pettis wastes no time. Off and running. Throw down is in time. And Pettis tagged out by Tracer Lopez. Great throw by Kevin Bazell. And the ball is there waiting on Pettis to get to the bag.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Pettis taking off on the first pitch and thrown out, as you said, the ball sitting there waiting on him. Not a good jump.
Two and one to Mudler. Sooners have swept 4 conference series this year. If they hang on here, that would be their 5th. They have swept TCU and BYU on the road. They'll still play home against Baylor and at Cincinnati after this weekend. That ball is hit pretty well into the gap in right center field, but the speedy Gage Harrelson is right there for it. Sooners are done in the 9th inning. It's the final chance for the Red Raiders coming. That was TCU, but the Frogs at that time a top 10 team, but not in the Big 12.
Right. The last Big 12 sweep in this ballpark, 2007, Oklahoma State Cowboys. That was near the end of the Larry Hayes tenure. It's been a while.
All of that, yeah, prior to the Tim Tadlock time as head coach here with the Red Raiders.
Red Raiders needing some base runners here. Dylan Crooks has been outstanding.
Gavin Cash, big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Cash ground ball to first, scored Lopez in the first inning of this ball game. Lopez had tripled. Gavin has walked, struck out, and flied out a couple of times since then.
Crooks has faced 4 hitters and retired all 4 of them. Just 8 pitches.
Junior out of Euless. Red Raiders saw him briefly yesterday. Gavin Cash got all of that one. Red Raiders had anybody on base, they'd have a crooked number, but Gavin Cash has just blasted his 13th home run of the year. Hit that one way over the shift and out to right field.
Crooks went back to the changeup, but this one elevated in the strike zone, and Cash did not miss it, drilling it into the tree out beyond right field. Red Raiders now down 2 runs, still hunting a base runner to get that tying run to the plate.
8-6 is the score, and here comes Skip Johnson out of that Oklahoma dugout this inning. It's 8-6 Sooners. Red Raiders have a run in this bottom of the 9th. Sooners have a new pitcher headed to the mound. Some dates to remember here coming up. The Big 12 tournament, May 21st through the 25th. After that, the NCAA selection show on the 27th. Regionals start May 31st. That Big 12 tournament at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Gus, Ryan Lambert is the guy the Red Raiders have not seen this weekend.
Yeah, big right-hander out of Minnesota. He's been very good this year. Making his 18th appearance, 3-0 the record, 1.80 the ERA. He last pitched against Texas, went an inning and a third, allowed 3 hits and a walk, struck out a man, allowed a run. It was earned.
Quick note on Gavin Cash, home run a moment ago, 13th this season, 39th of his career, now tied with Roger Kieschnick and Jace Young on Texas Tech's all-time list. Clint Bryant is the Red Raiders' home run leader with 44. Cash 5 behind that now.
Those guys all tied for 5th place. Kieschnick, Jace, and Cash.
Kevin Bazell is the first Red Raider to face Ryan Lambert, showing bunt. Sooners infield playing not quite a doubles defense, Gus, but they are all playing back.
Lambert started him with a breaking ball for a strike, comes back with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at his eyes. Bazell lays off of that one.
Bazell homered in yesterday's game, also had a double. Does not have a hit today. Got underneath that one, but it'll go back over us here and out of play. We're behind in the count at 1-2. Austin Green waits on deck. Well, that pitch up high and right over the top of the glove of Mudler behind the plate. 2-2 to Bazell. Bazell homered in the bottom of the 6th yesterday. He had doubled in the 4th. A 2-for-4 day, his only hits in the series.
Outfield playing Bazell deep and shading him around to right field.
A 3-2 pitch coming from Ryan Lambert. He's the 6th Sooner pitcher today. Up and in, ball 4. And it's what the Red Raiders need. Base runners. Now the tying run is coming to the plate in Austin Green. That's the 8th walk allowed today by Oklahoma pitching. They have struck out 3 Red Raider batters. Scott Mudler asking home plate umpire Jeffrey Heinrichs about going out to talk to his pitcher. Austin Green started the day with infield pop-ups, but in the 5th and the 7th, he singled and scored each time.
Malachi Witherspoon finished up yesterday for the Sooners, and he is warming in their bullpen right now.
Witherspoon, the guy that allowed the home run to Tracer Lopez in the 9th inning yesterday, but the Red Raiders could not complete that comeback. Austin Green will take a strike, and he didn't like it. Thought it was up. Now in an 0-2 hole. It's the final home game of his Red Raider career. Green's a guy that does have some pop in his bat. He's got 18 career home runs.
Both Green and Woodcox part of the Senior Day festivities prior to today's game, both playing their last home game here.
Hit it hard down the right field line. It'll be in the corner. It's extra bases for Green. Rounding second, heading to third is Bazell, but he'll be held up there. They're not going to risk a play at the plate. And Austin Green has just ripped his 12th double of the year. And the Red Raiders' hopes are still alive here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
That's a no-brainer not to send Bazell here. Might have had a shot to score him, but his...
Red Raiders have nobody out in this 9th inning. Gavin Cash led off with a home run. Bazell walked. Now Green the double. And Oklahoma will make a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new Oklahoma hurler in a moment. We're in the bottom of the 9th. It's 8-6 Sooners.
So this is pickleball?
It's basically tennis for babies, but for adults.
It should be called wiffle tennis.
Pickle! Yeah, oh. These guys are intense.
Yeah, it's Malachi Witherspoon. He faced 3 hitters here yesterday and got the final 2 outs. Did allow a solo home run to Tracer Lopez. But here his entire focus is on the guy at second base, not the one at third. The Red Raiders with second, third, nobody out, as you see the season totals there for Witherspoon. Bazell's run doesn't mean a thing. Austin Green represents the tying run. Of course, any of these hitters, Woodcock, Stripling, McGee, conceivably would represent the winning run as we play here in the bottom of the 9th.
Drew Woodcox is the Red Raider who will face Witherspoon here with nobody out. In the bottom of the 9th, a run across, and the Red Raiders need that guy at second base to come around and score. Last at bat for Woodcox. He doubled into the corner in left field.
Well, Woodcox would love to get something to the right side of the field. If he does make an out to the outfield to drive in the run, but most importantly to get Austin Green to third base at the end of this at bat. Fastball in at 95. Ryan Lambert faced 2 hitters, walked one, and gave up a double to the other. Both of those base runners are his.
That double by Woodcox in his last at-bat, his 9th of the year and 7th in Big 12 play. Breaking ball there from Witherspoon, stays up for a ball. His brother Kyson was the starter on Saturday. Malachi was the 4th pitcher of the day. He wrapped it up against the Red Raiders. Woodcox watching that pitch off the plate for a ball.
The Sooner infield playing deep. Again, their focus is Green, not Bazell. They are playing Woodcox to pull. McKenzie hugging the line over there at third.
Woodcox, a hack at that one, sends it foul on the right side for strike 2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Woodcox needing to get some contact here.
Woodcox strapped in, ended an 0 for 8 streak against Sooner pitching with that 7th inning double. Stays alive there.
Sooners are playing him a step to pull on the infield. And they're shading him a couple of steps around the right field and fairly deep in the outfield.
Way inside to the Red Raider left fielder. Now a full count to Woodcocks. Sooners walked in a run back in the 5th inning. Oh, check swing, he went around. Woodcocks knew it. Off speed from Wilson and fooled the Red Raiders left fielder. Woodcocks is the first out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Witherspoon going back to the full count breaking ball. Ball well out of the zone. Woodcocks unable to hold up.
The Red Raider freshman. He's the DH today. Does not have a hit, but he's the guy with the bases loaded walk and a sacrifice fly, so he's driven in 2 today.
Good downer breaking ball here from Witherspoon to start him. Stripling chases it. He's throwing that good hard 12-6 breaker.
Wilson, a sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. Kyson Witherspoon is his twin brother. There's the breaker again for strike 2.
Stripling with some loud contact in his last at bat. He lined a shot to left center field that was run down for a sacrifice fly. One of his 2 RBIs today. Also drew a full count walk.
Ground ball. This will score a run. Stripling's out at first. Bazell crosses home plate. And Austin Green over to third.
That's the out that the Red Raiders needed from Woodcocks. Something to the right side to get Green over to third. But 1 run is in. Austin Green 90 feet away here.
Hope in this game. McGee does not have a hit against Sooner pitching in the series. 2 out, tying run is at third base. Red Raiders did score 2 runs earlier on a pitch that got away from Mudler. And both Bazell and Green raced home to score. He takes that pitch. Gage Harrelson is on deck.
Couple breaking ball misses to start McGee here. McKenzie again. Very deep over there at third and hugging the line. One of McGee's outs this ball game was a shot right at him.
That ball hit pretty well out into right field, but not enough. Madron's going to settle underneath it, make the catch, and the ball game is over. And Oklahoma Sooners come to town leading the Big 12, and they have swept the Red Raiders as they win this 3rd game this afternoon, 8-7. The Red Raiders, Gus, had the tying run at third base, could not get Austin Green in.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. They just played the 1 run.